before I be fake and be in the middle, I'd rather squash it like, bro, just squash it with him so I don't gotta say f*** him too type shit. I got to say f*** him. There's no way I can be cool with both of y'all like and just play the middle. I'm not.
It appears the rivalry between NBA YoungBoy and 21 Savage is escalating more intensely than ever, even causing their respective crews to mobilize, ready for a conflict. This feud between NBA YoungBoy and 21 Savage has placed the entire rap industry on edge. This isn't just typical industry drama, fam. We're discussing a friendship so profound that YB literally got the symbol for L tattooed on his neck for 21, only to witness that bond completely collapse when their allegiance was tested. And now, this situation is genuinely turning lethal. Let me explain the situation, homie. Back in 2017 and 2018, when both NBA YoungBoy and 21 Savage were motivated young artists aggressively working toward success, a remarkable connection formed in hip-hop. These were not manufactured industry figures or superficial ties. This was an authentic street connection between two guys who understood hardship. YB was already making significant impact from Baton Rouge, releasing mixtapes as if his life depended on it. Simultaneously, 21 Savage was building his empire in Atlanta with a cool, calculated style that captured the attention of the streets. However, what united them was more than just music, it was the genuine pain they both carried. According to sources and multiple street accounts, they connected through shared acquaintances in the Atlanta scene. But listen, this was not just casual industry networking. These guys spent considerable time together, cultivating a real brotherhood in the studio and outside of it. The mutual respect was instantaneous and deep. YB saw in 21 someone who had successfully transitioned from street life to mainstream success while preserving his integrity. 21 recognized a kindred spirit in YoungBoy, someone who understood the pressure of representing the streets while maneuvering the complexities of the music business. Now, here is where the story becomes truly unbelievable, shocking even their closest friends. NBA YoungBoy made a choice that would later become a painful reminder. He got the initials for L tattooed on his neck. For those unfamiliar, for L stands for life, and it is directly associated with 21 Savage's brand and movement. Let me emphasize why this was such a monumental commitment. No cap. In hip-hop culture, permanently inking someone else's symbol onto your body is the ultimate display of honor and faithfulness. This is not comparable to wearing merchandise or shouting them out on a track. This is a permanent commitment, shorty. This signifies, I am prepared to bear your name on my body for the rest of my existence. When YB received that for L tattoo, he was announcing to the entire hip-hop community that 21 Savage was more than just a friend or a collaborator, he was family. In street culture, this kind of allegiance is sacred. Gang, it is the foundation upon which everything else is built. But the tattoo was only the beginning. What truly demonstrated the depth of their friendship was how comfortable they became in each other's territories. We are discussing two artists from distinct cities, Baton Rouge and Atlanta, who were willing to visit each other's neighborhoods without bodyguards, without firearms, and without fear. Y himself spoke about this connection, stating, "Yeah, he wrote me on Instagram. I pulled up on him, I had a chop on me. I pulled up on him, I hopped out the Sprinter van. You're like, hey, put that up. You don't need that around here. But man, I mess with Savage. I think he about the second one that ever just let me pull up on him." This quote is incredibly revealing. For real, YB is essentially saying that 21 Savage was one of the few people who made him feel secure enough to disarm himself. In street culture, that is the utmost level of trust possible. When someone tells you you don't need that around here, they are accepting responsibility for your well-being. They are telling you, I have your back. While YB and 21 were strengthening their brotherhood, another relationship was forming that would ultimately tear them apart. 21 Savage was also developing a close friendship with Lil Durk, the head of Only the Family OTF from Chicago. The relationship between 21 and Durk was logical on multiple fronts. Both were street-validated artists who had successfully transitioned to mainstream success, without losing their street authenticity. Durk, being older and more established in the industry, became a mentor of sorts to 21. He showed him how to navigate the business aspect of hip-hop while retaining street credibility. But here is where the matter becomes complicated. This is truly about industry politics. As 21's relationship with Durk grew deeper, he naturally became closer to the entire OTF group, including King Von, who was Durk's protege and one of Chicago's most talented young rappers. For a period, 21 managed to maintain successful friendships with both NBA YoungBoy and the OTF crew. However, in hip-hop, particularly within the street-focused genre, juggling multiple loyalties can be dangerous. The culture demands authenticity, and authenticity often necessitates choosing sides when conflict arises. everything changed permanently. On November 6, 2020, the night King Von was tragically killed outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, this was not merely a grievous loss of life. It was the incident that would compel 21 Savage to make an agonizing choice. The specific details of that night are still contested, but what we know for certain is this. King Von was in Atlanta with his crew when they encountered Quando Rondo and his crew outside the hookah lounge. What began as an argument quickly intensified into violence, and once the confrontation ended, King Von was fatally wounded. Here is where the narrative becomes complex and directly affected YB's relationship with 21 Savage. Quando Rondo, who was present during the altercation, was one of NBA YoungBoy's closest friends and frequent collaborators. In the wake of King Von's death, many people within the OTF camp began directing blame toward Quando Rondo, and by extension, NBA YoungBoy. This is the point where the feud between YB and Lil Durk truly began to heat up. The reasoning was straightforward but devastating. If you are closely associated with someone involved in a conflict, you become part of that conflict. In street culture, loyalty is paramount, and remaining neutral is often interpreted as an act of betrayal. This tragedy forced 21 Savage into an impossible situation. On one side, he had his authentic friendship with NBA YoungBoy, symbolized by the 4L tattoo on YB's neck. On the other side, he had his brotherhood with Lil Durk and the OTF family, who were mourning King Von's loss and seeking solidarity from their allies. 21 Savage himself articulated his philosophy regarding loyalty, and this quote is vital for understanding his eventual decision. If you got a problem with him, and I mess with both of y'all, but I mess with him a little harder, I'm naturally going to be like, man, just naturally me. So before I be fake and be in the middle, I rather squash it like bro. Just squash it with him so I don't got to say mess him too. There's no way I can be cool with both y'all like, and just play the middle. This quote perfectly illustrates 21's dilemma. He felt unable to stay neutral because that contradicts his nature. His loyalty is absolute, and when forced to make a selection, he chose the side he felt a stronger connection to at that specific moment. Several factors played a role in 21's decision to side with OTF over NBA YoungBoy. First, his connection with Lil Durk had become increasingly significant to both his career and his personal life. Durk was not only a friend, but also a mentor and a business associate. Second, the fundamental nature of the conflict made neutrality impossible. By continuing his friendship with YB, 21 would have been seen as disrespecting Von's memory and abandoning his OTF family during their time of immense grief. The choice to align with OTF meant that 21 Savage had to completely sever ties with NBA YoungBoy. This was not a slow decline in their friendship. It was an immediate and total breakdown. The 4L tattoo on YB's neck, once representing an unbreakable bond of brotherhood, became a painful symbol of loyalty betrayed. For NBA YoungBoy, 21's decision was crushing. He had trusted 21 enough to permanently engrave his symbol onto his body, and now that same person was choosing his rivals over their friendship. The betrayal was deeply felt because it was both sudden and absolute. As 21 Savage explained in interviews, a lot of people not going to mess with NBA YoungBoy because they mess with Lil Durk. This was more than a mere observation. It was 21 justifying his own stance and explaining his choice. But why? Was not going to allow this to pass without resistance. One of the most intense moments in their public feud occurred during a clubhouse session that has achieved legendary status in hip-hop circles. Multiple sources confirmed that NBA YoungBoy joined a clubhouse room where 21 Savage was already present and began provoking him. Although the precise content of the exchange is debated, witnesses described YB directly challenging 21 about their fractured friendship and the decisions he had made. This clubhouse incident was highly significant because it marked the first direct interaction between the two since their falling out. This was not handled through intermediaries, veiled lyrics, or social media posts. It was a direct real-time confrontation that unfolded before a live audience. The incident quickly gained traction, with clips and summaries circulating widely across social media. The takeaway for everyone was clear: any hope of reconciliation was now entirely non-existent. Interestingly, 21 Savage later disclosed that he had actually attempted to broker peace between the feuding factions. In a recent interview, he revealed, "I had conversations with Y, and I done had conversations with Durk people, but it ain't worked. But goddamn, I didn't try." 21 explained that he was unable to speak directly with Lil Durk because Durk was incarcerated at the time. Therefore, he spoke with Durk's team and other OTF members. He also held direct discussions with NBA YoungBoy, urging him to end the rivalry for the betterment of hip-hop and to prevent further violence. But YB refused. Instead of accepting the peace proposal, he doubled down on the disrespect. During his tour, Y brought Lil Tim onto the stage to perform YoungBoy's diss track aimed at King Von. This was widely seen as the ultimate sign of disrespect, especially since Lil Tim was allegedly involved in the incident that resulted in Von's death. 21 Savage's reaction to this was telling. Look, the beef could still be with Lul, Tim, but you and Dirk need to end that, cause y'all got a lot of fans and people going along with this. It could be deaths, murders, people going to jail.
Work like
YB and Dirk, but Dirk locked up, so goddamn, he can't really talk. But I done had conversations with YB and I done had conversations with Dirk people, type shit. But it ain't work. But goddamn, I done tried. Feel what I'm saying?
His forecast proved accurate. Fast forward to the present. Dirk is incarcerated on federal charges allegedly connected to seeking retribution. Quando Rondo is facing federal charges, and Lul Tim remains free. The violence 21 attempted to avert has already claimed multiple lives and ruined several careers. 21 Savage has been very transparent about the reasons for his choice, and it all boils down to his strong belief in loyalty. As one industry insider put it, 21 Savage's kryptonite is loyalty. Bro, it's the best and worst thing because when he's with you, the dude's with you to the point where he won't mess with you. He's with you so much, he'll turn $1 million down because he messes with you. This unshakable loyalty is both 21's greatest asset and his biggest vulnerability. When King Von died, 21 felt obligated to choose between his friendship with Y and his allegiance to OTF. He chose OTF because, in his words, he felt a little harder connection to them. 21 also articulated his street philosophy. If you really mess with a dude, now. If you just musically mess with a dude, y'all just do songs here and there, cool. But if you kickin' it like a dude, your brother, like I rock with this dude. So, in a situation like that, I feel like you better pick it. What makes this situation uniquely hazardous is that it no longer concerns only hurt feelings or bruised egos. Real lives have been lost, real blood has been spilled, and real federal cases are being constructed. The rivalry between Y and Dirk has already led to multiple deaths, and 21 Savage's involvement has added another complex layer to an already explosive situation. The streets are monitoring closely, and everyone knows that conflicts of this nature do not simply fade away. When you involve artists with this degree of influence and this many devoted followers, every action is magnified. Every insult becomes a potential trigger for violence. The story of NBA YoungBoy and 21 Savage is ultimately a tragedy of loyalty, betrayal, and the impossible choices that street culture sometimes enforces. What began as a sincere brotherhood so real that YB permanently tattooed his body with 21's symbol has deteriorated into a situation that threatens to claim additional lives. The 4L tattoo on YB's neck will always remain, a permanent monument to broken trust and a destroyed friendship. It serves as a symbol of how quickly loyalty can become a weapon and how the very values celebrated by hip-hop culture can also lead to its downfall. As this situation continues to escalate, one point is undeniable. The feud between these former friends has moved far beyond simple personal grievances. It has become a part of a larger conflict that has already taken too many lives and shows no indications of resolution anytime soon. The question now is not whether this rivalry will turn deadly, it already has. The question is, how many more lives will be lost before someone finds a way to stop this cycle of violence and betrayal? That is the true narrative, fam. A friendship so authentic it seemed unbreakable, ruined by the very loyalty that initially forged it. And now we are all watching to see the extent of the tragedy this situation will bring. Stay cautious out there, fam. This reality is serious, and the consequences are permanent.